We move on to some better news here from our Sounders.
Kind of surprised. I mean, this was the road that you needed to. It's like you ever go on a road trip and maybe there's just like a big hurdle you have to go through. This was their huge hurdle. I mean, Austin's the second best team in the West, points wise and standing wise. They were without their MVP candidate. He was on the bench, but I mean, this is still a good club. Obviously, it's a team game, so you've got to play around that. And the Sounders were very much up to the task, winning 3-0 over Austin. Player of the game, Raul Ruidiaz. I mean, that we talked about this with CCL, didn't we? Who steps up in the moments that the Sounders need it? It's Raul, the Peruvian, just incredible.
Didn't you say he had that clutch gene?
He does. I mean, again, if there's a guy that's a good point. If there's a guy that does, it's Raul. It's ridiculous. So September 10th versus Austin, a 3-0 win. Raul, 8.9 match rating, 2 goals, 3 total shots, and 88% passing percentage. This was just pretty wild. I was over working the Mariners game because of some things that were unfortunate, but still keeping along with this and still had an article about it. And Seattle jumped out to a 2-goal lead early, and they were able to shut out Austin. And just, I was like, what the hell is happening?
They just decided to kick it into gear all of a sudden.
Yeah, because, I mean, from here, the road gets much easier, right? We talked about this last week. Get over the big bad, and then you've got a team. Vancouver is still a rivalry game. They're still going to probably play hard because it's a rivalry game, but they're far out of playoff contention. Cincinnati is the closest to that amongst your next 4 games, and they're like 6 spots out of, I mean, points-wise, they still could technically make it, but they've got like 5 teams ahead of them for that spot. So, like, it's not necessarily like they're going to make it. Kansas City, out of playoff contention. San Jose, out of playoff contention. So these, I mean, it's with, if you play like you did against Austin, which you can't, replicating that's not always easy, but if you're able to replicate that, you should probably win out or go undefeated on the way out. Including Austin, with those 5 games through in the year, you could probably afford to draw one of them, and that would have, you'd like to have used it there against Austin if you needed to, but you should probably win out. I mean, Austin, again, this was a 3rd straight loss. This is a good team. They're in bad form right now, but ultimately you should be fine. I mean, you should be fine. You hopefully get Christian Roldan back sooner rather than later, but ultimately you showed what you could be. And I'm really intrigued to see what Sounders team we get to end the season, because last year they didn't win in their last 7 games.
Well, and with these teams that are making playoff runs, they're trying to make a playoff run. We've talked about getting hot at the right time. Mm-hmm. So do you think this is it for the Sounders, maybe?
If this is, the table is set for them to do so. Whether they properly do that, you've got the circumstances, you just have to execute now. So it's like, if I give you the key, you just got to go and use it. Mm-hmm. Go and use it. I mean, this is your big moment to do that. Do I think they can? Yeah, sure. They'll do it. They're going to make the playoffs this year. They're going to squeak in, but they'll do it. So we'll look back at this in 4 weeks, but I hope I don't get more comments. Oh, you were wrong. We'll get it, but So looking at team-related news here, not relatively quiet, but on the 7th, it was announced that the Sounders and the Puyallup Tribe of Indians Emerald Queen Casino announced a new naming rights deal, proudly introducing the Emerald Queen Casino pitch at Lumen Field. So the pitch itself has a name now, and an expansion of the already successful partnership between the Rave Green and the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, whose logo appear on jersey sleeves and whose Emerald Queen Casino serves as the official casino entertainment partner of Seattle Sounders FC. The club and tribe today announced an exclusive naming rights deal for the home of the Sounders matchday pitch, known as now the Emerald Queen Casino pitch at Lumen Field. In addition to this branding throughout the stadium on match day over a variety of assets, this deal also includes civic elements with a new Sounders FC and tribe development program encompassing elementary through post-secondary age youth from Chief Leshy schools and delivering comprehensive year-round programming to positively impact the community. I know also that the Sounders and the Rain partnered together to create a new pitch for young people, kids. I almost said young people. For kids to play on a fan-funded pitch. So it's exciting to see, not only obviously with the sports that we cover, right, but what these teams do in the community. You like to see more and more of that, but to see this, I think that's pretty cool to see that program and to see what the Sounders are able to do with that moving forward. So wanted to touch on that. So looking ahead, the Sounders record now sits at 12 wins, 15 losses, and 3 draws. It's still ridiculous. 3 draws, only 3. They are in 9th place in the Western Conference. They have 39 points, which is 4 out of a playoff spot. Their next match is September 17th, this Saturday at the Vancouver Whitecaps. This is a 7 p.m. Pacific time start time. This is, again, a rivalry game, so I expect them to play them tough. I don't expect it to get easy at all.